Over the last few days, a major movement about among young people, most of them women, has been gaining a lot of ground, getting a lot of traction. It's called the Happy to Beat campaign, and it started off as a reaction to the chairman of the Sabrimala board saying that till the time there is some contraption that's invented which will track when women are menstruating, till that time women will not be allowed, and has had such a huge outpouring of reaction and anger. And some of the campaign has been led by these young campaigners over here, that one particular woman has written a letter which has gone viral. 500,000 people just reading her letter, open letter, in just a single day. So imagine the kind of reach that it has. And now she's getting death threats because of it. So we'll be speaking to the representatives of the temple. We'll be speaking to all these young women about what they want. Let's just take a quick look at what he said.
ഈ വെപ്പൺസ് കൊണ്ടുപോകുന്നോ ഇല്ലയോ എന്നറിയുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടി ഒരു വാതിലൂടെ നമ്മളെ വിടും. അതിനു പകരം ഇവർക്ക് തീർത്ഥാടനം നടത്താൻ പറ്റിയ ഒരു സമയമാണോ ഇല്ലയോ എന്ന് പരിശോധിക്കാൻ കഴിയുന്ന ഒരു കാലം ഉണ്ടാകും. ആ കാലം ഉണ്ടാകട്ടെ, നമുക്ക് അന്നേരം ആലോചിക്കാം.
So what is this movement all about, and why has it grabbed headlines across the world? Across the world, people were tuning in to know what is it, why is it that this temple administrator said this, and why has it got women so angry? Let me just introduce who we have today. We have Suradhi Sharma, who runs the Happy to Bleed campaign. We also have Anshul Tiwari. He is the founder of Youth Ki Awaaz. They ran that campaign letter in which Nikita Azad wrote that letter. He'll be telling us the kind of feedback that it has. We have feminist, writer Urvashi Butalia, and representing what the Sabrimala Trust, what they feel, their point of view, we have Rahul Ishwar joining us from Trivandrum. First of all, this whole campaign, what is it that has got women all gathered together and really angry about this? What is it that the women want, Suradhi?
Well, there are few things that I want to put across. First of all, it's being told that it's a communal issue somehow. Hinduism is being targeted, and Nikita has been told you're not a Hindu. So we just want to clarify that Happy to Bleed is against, not just against Hinduism, that is not allowing women in temples, but across all religions, whatever the reason may be. If you're not allowing a woman somewhere because she's menstruating, we are against that. Secondly, we are against capitalistic ideas, and we want the state to promote and advocate menstrual hygiene and health, and this is what the campaign is about. And Nikita herself is receiving a lot of threats because of this. She started this campaign.
Yeah. So let me just give a little bit of background for anybody. Everyone knows that the Sabrimala temple doesn't allow women between 10 years and 50 years of age, and this has been given sanction by a High Court order. The fight is now on in Supreme Court. In Supreme Court, against that order that was given in 1991 by the Kerala High Court. In Supreme Court, it's still hanging on. But what is it that actually got people involved now was that comment by the administrator, fresh comment about that scanner which got women angry. And Anshul, the huge amount of response. First, tell us, Nikita, who works with you, she's got these threats. What are these threats about?
So, initially when she sent in that letter and we published it, the response was really good. We had thousands of people sharing it, thousands of people reacting to it in a very good way. Around a day after it went viral, it got millions of people reading it. The threats started coming in. So the threats were broadly on religious lines, of course, saying that, you're not a Hindu, you should be not talking about this, you have no business in this issue, to talking about how women should mind their own, business, they should stay at home, and so on.
And you inform the police as well.
I mean, there have been reports, people have reported these comments to Facebook, to many other authorities. We're encouraging Nikita to report them as well. And we haven't received any responses yet.
Rahul Ishwar, you're hearing this. I know what you said about Sabrimala not being against women, but these threats coming in from Trivandrum towards Nikita, who just wrote that letter, wrote what she felt about it. What do you say about these threats, Rahul Ishwar?
Sunetra ji, two things. First, let me start by appreciating Nikita Shruti and Youth Ki Awaaz, especially Nikita, for raising the campaign Happy to Bleed. We don't agree with that particular content, but we respect the campaign. I believe youth should start asking questions and raising points so that they will understand their systems, their culture in a better manner. Second, as the grandson of the senior Supreme Priest of Sabarimala and as a person who has worked for this institution for long, I condemn any threat from any part towards these very vibrant youngsters. They should definitely be engaged. We can definitely debate regarding the point. The third, my great friend Barkhaji, because of her article in Hindustan Times, Young Women Association went to Supreme Court and it is right now under the consideration of a 5-member bench, if I am right. Now coming to the point, why is it that young women are excluded? It is not because of the bleeding issue or menstruation issue. It is because Sabarimala is a 5,000+ year old temple. Even British records suggest the Murti or the deity there, the Pratishta as we call it there, is Naishtika Brahmacharya or celibate concept. There is also a Sabarimala for women called Atigal, where there is the largest congregation of women on earth as certified by Guinness Book of World Records. No men go there and offer Pongala. So this is not discrimination, this is differentiation. Let us understand as in a cultural sensitivity and let us not look at ourselves through Western prism.
Rahul Ishwar, did you find the comment of the board member when he talked about a scanner? Did you find that offensive? Because obviously a lot of women here did.
Yeah, I heard it, but trust me, the soul is lost in translation. When you read it in Malayalam or when you understand it Malayalam, it is not offensive in the way you understand that in English. He only said, what he only meant was we should look at the pristine purity of the customs and traditions, and that will be kept as he is responsible and legally bound to do that. He's a very senior congressman, a very respected leader who is a very accepted figure, and Sabarimala also has a history which is a very secular history where we have a Muslim deity inside, a shrine there. There is a church on the way to the pilgrimage center where crores of Hindus goes to this church, mosque, all caste and religions were accepted for millenniums. So let us not look at ourselves through a feministic Western prism.
Okay, but what do you make of that? Yeah, what do you make of that, Urvashi Butalia? This has been a fight for a long time, but what do you make of how it has, gotten really, really big over the last couple of days?
See, I think that whatever it is, I'm glad that Rahul Ishwar respects the right of Nikita, Youth Ki Awaaz and the Happy to Bleed campaign to say what they want to say, because I think it's important to do that and to debate. I think Rahul Ishwar's point that this is not about discrimination, but it's about differentiation or it is about culture is really not a valid point. I'd like to point out that, discrimination or oppression looks like culture or differentiation to the one who is discriminating, but to the one who is being discriminated against, it is received very, very differently, as we know from the way caste oppression and discrimination has played out in our temples. And keeping women out because your deity is celibate is a very strange thing to me, because the deity surely should be all powerful and have control over himself and should not be so weakened as to be vulnerable to women when they come in. Surely this is, I see it as, from somebody who's religious like you, Rahul Ishwar, I see it as disrespect to your deity to think that he needs to be protected against women.
And I just wanted to get Aditi Gupta in on this, because Aditi has been fighting a lot of these stereotypes through comic books. She's part of Menstrupedia. Aditi, when you hear some of the reactions, I know that you also sent in pictures. You've been part of this campaign for a long time now. When you see these reactions coming in from Sabarimala, how do you respond to that? And how do you fight that?
I would like to say this to Rahul, that Rahul, it is not about, it is surely about discrimination. Sati Pratha existed, and Sati Pratha was legal, and women were burned with their husband fire when she was, and this was done under religion.